So this is a strange one. We've got an old farmhouse which was overcome by bees, honeybees yesterday, and it's made a mess downstairs. We'll take pictures of that later. But they were all up and coming in around this entry point where an HVAC system plugs in. So this morning I came back, stuffed the hole as best I could with steel wool for the moment. We'll caulk it permanent later once they're gone. But you can see the bees are just really congregating around where the steel wool in the opening had been. We'll come downstairs. And this door is now open. You might be able to see the bees as we get closer. So the bees, as near as I can tell, have been going in through the other entry. And once they got into the house, they were kind of getting lost. And they wound up all sorts of different places in the house. So there's a downstairs room where they are. We'll see what's going on. They weren't acting like a swarm. And they weren't acting like a colony. There was no steady, solid mass of the bees. They were just all over the place. You see the floor's a mess. I'll get that cleaned up in a minute. But what we've got up in the ceiling, I'm sure the light's going to show this, is a whole bunch of old honeycomb. There is some honey in it, a little bit, not a lot. It had been a viable colony, but right now there's no larva, there's no eggs, no sign that it's actually being occupied, but we've got bees all over the place who I think are robbing what had been left. Something to back up the robbing is when I was poking around last night and I knocked pieces of comb down, you'll see all sorts of pieces of individual wax on the floor. Bees are picking through it. I'm pretty sure they're tearing it apart just to get whatever honey they can. Of note, we're also in the middle of August, and there is just not a lot of nectar out there. So this may have represented a big enough find to really trigger a robbing frenzy on a part of all these bees. And you got bees on the floor. How long this has been going on? Bees trying to get out the window. It's hard to tell from this video, but it seems to me that most of the bees are trying to leave from this door. So with the inside entrance hole plugged up, I'm going to go in there now. I'm going to try and cut out a lot of that comb. We have to get the comb out of there and the hole plugged. Hopefully the bees themselves will abate in the next few hours. If not, the homeowner is going to have to spray because it's just a mess. It's not a viable colony. There's no bees that I can recover en masse. Hey, get out of my sleeve. So let's go to work. All right. So I had to change my gloves. I managed to sting me through the latex gloves that I bought. All right. So here I've got my bucket I'm going to be dropping pieces of comb into. First pieces of comb that I grabbed were pretty well empty, pretty dry. So I'm just going to be breaking out fronds, dropping them in the bucket. Okay, so got about a bucket full of comb. There was some dead capped brood in there. There was hardly any honey. Yeah, this was an abandoned hive. There was also wax moths present. So this is a robbing scenario. Cleaned them up in there. Not too bad. Enough that there shouldn't be a whole lot left. And then we finish off by burning some hippie sticks to appeal to the gods and hopefully put enough smoke up in there that bees decide to go someplace else. The hippie sticks are probably nicer. Incense is probably nicer than my smoker food. All right, so mostly cleaned up. The outside has been caulked. The quantity of bees, I don't know if you can tell, is already greatly reduced. Hopefully everybody's getting the message and going home.